All right. So, can you guys hear me? I'm assuming you can. Just give me a second here, guys. Just gonna send a link out to the Telegram channel, just so everyone knows that we are live. All right. Okay, there we go. All right. So, like I said, I mean, I know it's a little late notice, but you know, I guess we're just gonna have to run it through for how it, for future references. I can't really give timelines because my schedules are so bad. But anyways, let me just make sure my microphone is working. Okay, it is working. All right, so looking at Ethereum, I mean, we had quite a bit of fun yesterday looking for that buy opportunity. We entered on this breakout formation right here. As soon as we saw that, we knew that there was going to be a short squeeze. So now looking at Ethereum, it's a little iffy to be looking for that buy because of the fact that even on the lower time frames, it's extremely risky, right? You can see that we're seeing a lot of resistance, mostly on weekend volume. So I'm waiting for a clean breakout formations, possibly from right here at 1470. If we can somehow break above the 1470 range, that would be the ideal area from the lower time frames. Possibly see a breakout, enter on the retest, and then ride it back up to around the 1518 range. That's exactly where I'm looking to see how Ethereum plays out. Now, of course, this will lead into Monday morning. I'm not really entering on the weekend, of course, because of the fact that A, lack of liquidity, and B, with everything happening in the market, I'm just really not interested in entering a position too large right now. I don't want to get caught out on weekend volume, not at all, really. And for Bitcoin, I do want to talk about a few things. So right now, looking at Bitcoin, you can see that we saw a very nice short squeeze opportunity, and then we immediately rejected. This was a bearish engulfing candle that I was pretty much talking about on the hourly. But if you go on the 4-hour time frames, yesterday I mentioned that we basically can't reject this level as resistance, and that's exactly what happened. We saw that breakout formation, we immediately rejected that level as resistance, and then a strong bearish engulfing candle. And that's pretty much when I woke up and I was like, okay, well, now it's one of those situations where ideally, in order for us to have somewhat of a larger short squeeze or even a fake out situation here, we have to try to overcome this resistance here at 20.7. Assuming we can try to break above 20.7, that would be the ideal range where we could be looking for a very nice short squeeze. But since we can't seem to break above that level, of course, using the exponential moving averages as resistance while having multiple rejection candlesticks isn't something we want to see. Ideally, I'm waiting for that volume to come into the market, but right now this is a very tricky situation to be in for Ethereum and Bitcoin because we had such a large drop from 1518. A lot of traders got caught out within those ranges. Now we're looking for that same thing, right? When you have a larger move, we tend to have a pullback before the continuation to the downside, and that's exactly why I'm being very, very careful looking for this position sizing as of right now. So ideally, if we do get a break above these exponential moving averages, this is where I'll be looking for a buy opportunity. But of course, everything depends on this major resistance right now here at 1469. Assuming we can get above that level and use it as support, that would be perfect. And for those of you that are joining the chat, you can always, like I said, feel free to put your charts that you want me to analyze. I'll be going over anything you guys want. I do have some updates here. Let's talk about Sand real quick. Now, Sand was one of those coins where a lot of you guys were wondering, okay, like, are we looking for a short, exactly where it's going? So let's go ahead and analyze exactly what happened. So you guys will see that from the last live session, I think it was a few weeks ago, but we were trading Sand within this consolidation zone. And I mentioned to you guys just two factors, of course, that could happen. Number one, for Sand, what we were looking for was a breakout on the 80-cent range. You see that ideally, we did see two breakout opportunities, but we failed to hold that level as support. I've taught you guys this many times that when you're trading these sort of breakout formations, you don't want to try to get caught within this range. Ideally, what you want to do is wait for the breakout. it usually ends up retesting that level. Of course, unless it's manipulation, it will continue rising or we will have a short squeeze. But assuming we see that breakout formation and then re-enter on that support, that was the confirmation we were looking for sand. Instead, you can see that we actually saw somewhat of a double top formation, and then immediately after a very strong bearish move set, while we retest this area of support at 71 cents, you see that we broke that level, retested as resistance, and right here is when I mentioned in the Telegram, this is a great area to be looking for a shorting opportunity. Once we broke the midterm support on sand, it pretty much capitulated and it turned into a free fall opportunity. And this is why it's very tricky, and I've told you guys this many times, you don't want to try to hold a losing trade, because the more times you end up holding a losing trade, you pretty much get absolutely wrecked on those capitulation moments, right? Now looking at sand, we are entering a very nice support area. So we have two support zones that we have to be very careful about. Number one is the current price action that we're seeing. Of course, you'll notice the fact that there's some sort of confluence in terms of wicks right at this range, but this isn't, in my opinion, the strongest support. The strongest support would be right around this level here at around 49 cents. The fact that we are consolidating in between this range, of course, we are seeing these exponential moving averages acting as resistance. I'm waiting to see whether or not sand can break above these EMA lines, and that would be a confirmation for a larger short squeeze. Looking at sand overall, though, you can see that not only are we completely oversold, but even here on the daily time frame, we are pretty over leveraged from our EMA lines, right? Usually when the market tends to do is when we have a massive dump opportunity, you'll see the same sort of situation here. When we had a large dump, we consolidated, retest that area as resistance, and then continue pushing lower. This would be the play as of right now. If we are looking for the same sort of consolidation zone on sand, that would be the area of take profit I would look at, possibly within this range of these exponential moving averages. Take those profits and then continue riding it back down to around 39 to 38 cents. So now for Hbar, I know a lot of you guys are, you enjoy Hbar, so I just want to quickly talk about Hbar as well. So looking at Hbar right now, you'll notice the fact that yesterday we were seeing a very nice breakout formation on 0.057. But I mentioned to you guys that it's going to be very important for us to try to overcome these 9 and 20 EMA lines, because you'll notice that Hbar is one of those coins that pretty much this whole move towards the downside has failed to break above these major resistance levels, right? We've pretty much had such a nice slow bleed opportunity from 0.08 all the way down to now 0.057, and the current level that Hbar is trading at isn't necessarily bullish. And the reason why is you'll see that we've pretty much already had that opportunity for a bounce twice. Now we're looking for that third test opportunity, and we are still not seeing that volume come in. Of course, it is the weekend, but that doesn't mean the fact that this area of support should be taking this long to really bounce. When you enter a major daily support level, you immediately see a bounce formation, and I can give you guys a perfect example of that. Look what happened here on Hbar the first time we fell from 0.097. You'll notice that we got pretty close to our support here at 0.057, and immediately after we saw multiple bullish candlesticks come into the market, and we saw a very nice recovery. Right now we're not seeing the same sort of thing happen on Hbar, right? Right now we're actually seeing more bearish pressure in the market while we retest this area of resistance, which is something that we don't want to see. Ideally right now I would only be looking for shorting opportunities, mostly when it comes down to these altcoins that tend to bleed quite a bit, because of the fact that these microcaps, or midterm altcoins I would call it rather, they're not safe, right? They haven't really experienced market moves. They haven't really experienced, massive bear markets yet. And these things are all going to be tested, whether or not there's news related or not. That doesn't matter to us. All we really care about is whether or not the technicals are there for that buy. And right now the technicals are not there for Hbar to be looking for dollar cost averaging. The reason I say that is because of the fact that you can see we've already tested this range so many times over here at 0.057. The more times a range is tested, the higher chances of us actually breaking. And right now you'll notice the fact that we are entering the same exact range once again. We've already entered this zone before, and now we are possibly looking back down to the 0.035, where once again, I've told you guys a lot of times, we only saw one test opportunity on Hbar. Look how clean this wick was on Hbar, right? We had a hammer candlestick, only one test, and then we saw the rally. This wasn't a clean confirmation for me, because I would have much rather saw a second or third test before that continuation, but instead we only bounced once and we continued having such a crazy rally on Hbar, really, and a very beautiful short squeeze opportunity. Now the question of course comes, hey, like, does it matter if I buy now, or does it matter if I buy 0.05? Like, a lot of you guys seem to get a little confused by that. Where should I buy? When should I buy? The reality is, like, when you're looking for a buy opportunity, mostly for the long term, when it comes down to these coins, any spot where you are testing a daily support level is a decent area to be dollar cost averaging. Now, me personally, when I started this, I told you guys, me personally, I'm not looking to buy in on these altcoins yet. And the reason I say that is because after going through 2 bear markets, I would much rather buy when Bitcoin's trading at somewhat of a decent level in terms of a consolidation than when we are still trying to figure out where the price point may end. The problem is with Bitcoin, if Bitcoin does end up dropping a lot further, Hbar will collapse with it. And that's my issue. This is why in bear markets, I never buy, or at least look for that buy opportunity on these altcoins until Bitcoin decides to finally find that consolidation. Now, some of you know, most of you probably don't know, but I posted a chart back in 2018, and after this I will post it again for you guys, but I mentioned that Bitcoin will hit 3,000 before we continue the next bull market. We got pretty much exactly at 3,000, and then we started the next bull run. But the whole point of that chart was to show people that although we were consolidating, so it looked exactly like this, guys. Bitcoin was in the same sort of range here in 2018, and we were not seeing any sort of move set, and this was at the $6,000 range. Once we broke the $6,000 range, we saw a 50% drop on Bitcoin within a few days. And that's what worries me at the current market price is I don't think that the bottom necessarily is in. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if, of course, this BART formation played out with everything that's happening right now, and we did end up retesting new lows once again. But that wick opportunity that a lot of people are saying, oh, it's going to be a really quick wick to 12,000. Well, let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin in terms of that wick and the capitulation I was talking about. So I'll show you guys a chart after, but this is what I was talking about, right? Look at the consolidation here on Bitcoin back in 2018. We consolidated from 6,000 to 9,000 for months. And then volume absolutely died. I remember at the time, everyone was like, okay, this is the bottom. Everyone buy, volume's dying, we're consolidating. We ended up breaking, and within a few days, Bitcoin dropped 50%. We went from 6,300 down to the lows of around 3,100. And that's my issue with the current price action that we're seeing right now is, yeah, technically it's really hard to find bottom situations like that. But looking at the chart right now, zooming out, this doesn't look bullish to me at all, right? This just looks like we just started the area of consolidation, because this lasted for a very long time. This range right here specifically lasted for a very long time. You can see the start of that range was February of 2018, and we saw the break over in November. So that's a long time to be holding on to something, right? Which is why I'm pointing out that's what I'm looking for in terms of altcoins, and that's the area I would possibly be looking to buy. The problem is with the current area that we are seeing, I don't necessarily think that we found that bottom, because looking at the range here from November all the way to January, this was literally 3-month range that we consolidated. And once again, of course, the argument is, old charts don't necessarily have to be the same as of right now. But in my personal opinion, I don't necessarily think we're at the bottom yet. And I really don't think that we will be for quite a bit, because excluding the macro environment and everything that's happening with Bitcoin, like even just looking at technical analysis, guys, like this really wasn't bullish. Like I pointed this out to you guys when we saw that rally as well. Like this wasn't something that was bullish. This was just manipulation and short squeeze, right? We were consolidating, everyone was bearish, and then look what happened. As soon as we broke above that resistance, short squeeze after short squeeze after short squeeze, we pretty much had a whole week of just green candles on the daily time frame, and then we continued to rally. And guess what? We've seen this situation happen before on Bitcoin as well. And this isn't the first time we saw just straight manipulation, right? Look what happened back here over at 25,000. I didn't make back then I didn't have the channel. I was just kind of solo trading, but Saw the same thing, right? Bitcoin was consolidating. We saw the lows of 17,000. Everyone's like, the bottom is in. We saw this same ladder case upwards, and then immediately after, in one day, guys, in one day, Bitcoin dropped from 23,000 all the way down to 20,000 on the 20.7. That's, that's a pretty scary candle. And then the next day, the same thing. We started capitulating, right? And this is what I mean. Like, every time we tend to see a drop on Bitcoin, it usually means that there's a new leg that's going to be forming. And this is why I'm so hesitant on buying altcoins or even looking for long-term positions as of right now. Nothing is worse than looking for, a long-term buy position. And I'll give you guys a great example of that. So give me a second here. Let me just pull up a random chart here. We'll go with, for this sake, we'll stick with Ethereum, but let me just give you guys an example, okay? And I'll give you an example of me, so you guys have a better understanding. So, for example, and back then I was a new trader, right? I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even know how to, really technical analysis for me was, I think 2017, 2018 was my learning stage, right? I was just practicing on demo accounts, trying to figure it out, whatever. But I didn't know what a chart was. I didn't even know, what was happening. I just looked at the news like, oh, yeah, Bitcoin's mooning. Okay, why is it mooning? Who knows, right? If I knew what I knew now, of course, it would have been very different. But looking at the previous bull market that we had, the issue was that, I pretty much was dollar cost averaging on altcoins this whole rundown. Every day I was like a new sale, right? Every day I was like, yep, this is a beautiful buy. Oh yeah, we're down 10%. That's another sale. And I dollar cost average on all my favorite altcoins. But guys, guess what happened? Out of all the altcoins that I had, all of them, and I'm not talking about Ethereum, but 70% of the coins in my portfolio just disappeared. And by disappeared, I mean they never came back. They were just stagnant and dead. And that's the issue is, and those are back at the time, like, I don't know if any of you guys remember trading those, but this was back when master nodes and, all that stuff was out, and, it was new technology and whatever. And the issue was that although it was new technology and, everyone was super bullish on coins like Neo, and I could name a ton, but like those coins, this bull run did absolutely nothing. This bull run, though, Bitcoin and Ethereum led the way, right? And I learned this the hard way, but the best time to be entering altcoins is right before a major break in resistance on Ethereum. And you'll see that looking at Ethereum's chart, the same sort of buy opportunity was right here when we broke above $723. You could have dollar cost averaged Ethereum and probably made more money than just holding on to your coins for the alts, and then exited Ethereum if you wanted to and enter the altcoins, because all you really have to do is just look at Bitcoin dominance, right? Once Bitcoin dominance is there, that's the ideal situation you want to be in, and go from there. But right now, we're not seeing the same sort of situation, right? Bitcoin dominance is pretty high right now. We're seeing the altcoins get absolutely wrecked. And a lot of you guys are wondering, like, oh, my favorite coins like XRP, my favorite coins like Cardano. Look at the sale we're seeing, right? Look at the sale. Guys, this is not a sale. This is just a start of the massive drop that we've already seen so many times before. Look at the chart now and look at the chart previously. Obviously, this was a little bit more sharp of a drop. It just pretty much went straight up, straight down. But the chart that we're seeing right now is the same thing. It's a slow bleed pattern, and we're entering the same sort of support levels that I warned you guys about prior, right? The same sort of support levels of 23 cents. And this was our overall target on Cardano as well. A lot of people love talking and in the YouTube comment sections, mostly Cardano bulls, right? There's like, oh, it'll never happen. Oh, and the thing is, the problem with bullish moon boys, or like just people that don't really understand how charting works or technical analysis or even just the overall macro environment, the problem is they hold their bags for like ever, right? They'll pretend like everything is okay even though you're seeing these dips, and oh, every time it dips, I'll just buy more. And the problem is the same people that were buying here at 34 cents bought here at 39 cents, and now we're at 30 cents, and they're going to continue buying at 28, right? And the issue with that mindset is, although the altcoins, long term, it doesn't really affect you if you really believe in Bitcoin going to 100,000 or whatever, you're just kind of wasting money at that point, because your buys over here are down 20%, your buys over here are down 20%, and now your buys over here are probably going to be down another 20%, right? So it's like, why would you set yourself up like that, where you can, you know, try to get more coins? That's the whole purpose of dollar cost averaging long term, is buying in cheaper, right? Everyone says, oh, I need to buy in cheaper, but you're buying in major resistance levels, and then you're getting confused why it keeps dropping. Or where's the drop? When is it going to stop? When can I? And like, to me, that's just stupid, right? In reality, like, again, not everyone has the luxury of learning or knowing how to analyze the markets. I understand that, but there comes a time when, you know, Bitcoin's at 20,000 with everything that's still going on, and the question is, oh, is this a good buy opportunity for me? Is this, you know, is this the area I should be buying at? Same with Ethereum. Like, to me, I made a video this morning, and you guys know I talked about Ethereum at $700. And the reason I talked about that was because, looking at the chart, this was the perfect area for our local bottom. The previous resistance from 2018 would make the perfect sense for us to possibly hit the $700 range. A lot of people are bearish on Ethereum, and I mentioned that as well. Over at the $1,200 range, I made videos and I specifically said, guys, we're looking for a short squeeze opportunity. The only way we would drop below the $700 range was if we broke this support here at 1,000, which we never even got close to. You can see we got 2 wicks down to 1078, but we never really entered that range. And I was making videos back then and mentioning everyone on my timeline is bearish. Everyone is saying that we're going to $500 Ethereum, $300, and the market tends to do opposite of what everyone is thinking. And guess what happened? We started rallying, right? We rallied all the way up to $2,000, and we saw the same sort of price analysis where on Ethereum, once we hit that 2,000, guys, look how perfect that line was drawn out. I don't ever change my lines. These are lines that I've had for a very long time. And the reason why I've spent days or weeks doing this was so I don't have to go back during a massive run up or a massive breakdown and trying to figure out where the next support zone is, right? And this was the, I believe, I'll send you guys screenshots after too, but I actually shorted Bitcoin at 25,000. 25,186, I think, was like the previous local top. And I shorted it. And because the reason why I shorted it was because of the fact that, from just a plain technical analysis perspective, look at the range, right? We were at 25,255. We ran up within 2 weeks all the way up from 17,000. Like, anyone looking at this range now is like, oh, well, it's so obvious, right? Well, no, not really, because again, a lot of people were looking into buy opportunities. They thought that the bear market was over. We thought it was a new high. If Bitcoin broke 25,000, it'd be a straight rally to 29. And yes, that argument remains, right? The argument remained that if Bitcoin somehow overcame the $25,000 range, the next target would remain at 29,000. Whether that happens or not, of course, all dependent on the current price of 20,700. If we can't overcome this level, then this BART formation will continue playing out. We will see new lows. But assuming we do see that breakout formation on Bitcoin and a short squeeze trying to reclaim those levels, that was the main target from the bullish case scenario, for me at least, was around that 28,000, right? And I'm not biased, right? I don't sit there and say, yep, straight to 29,000. I'm a 4-hour trader, and I feel like you guys, you know, maybe learned something in terms of that, because the problem is a lot of traders, what they do is they'll get stuck on the daily time frame or the 1 hour time frame, and they'll think that the market is going to recover, the market's going to do this. It's funny, I woke up this morning and I saw a chart, and some dude was on the 5-minute chart of Bitcoin saying that there's a bullish pennant and we're going to the moon. You know what I mean? And like, it's sad, because in reality, like, there's people out there that, you know, and I'm not saying anything about, you know, 1 minute, 5-minute traders. Like, I know some. To me personally, it's, unless you're a scalper, you're just kind of gambling. That's the way I see it, right? As a scalping opportunity, it's a great position if you want to do that, but from other perspectives, like, it's just stupid. And the reason I like the 4-hour time frame, because it really puts into perspective of where exactly we could go, right? On the daily time frame, you're looking at a larger picture if you're a swing trader, but on the 4-hour time frame, you know, I remember, I of course don't make Bitcoin videos very much, because A, they don't do very well, and B, like, at the end of the day, like I just post charts in Telegram, right? Like you guys have the Telegram charts anyways. But looking at the Bitcoin chart, like, you know, this was the problem. And I've taught you guys this. It's funny because this has happened before. And I'll show you guys something really cool, but look on the 4-hour time frame right now for Bitcoin. This was a given, okay? But of course, you know, everyone on like throughout the market, on YouTube, on Twitter, oh, I don't know what's happening. Why are we going up? Why are we going up? Right? This was such an easy trade idea from a short squeeze perspective. We broke FTX drama. Everyone was there. We saw the markets capitulate, and again, very oversold in my opinion. Within 2 days, going from 21,000 all the way down to 15,000 was an unreal buy opportunity, right? Sure, whatever. It didn't happen regardless. People bought in, didn't buy in, doesn't matter. But look at what happened here, right? Looking on the 4-hour time frame, look what you see. I'll get rid of the RSI tool so you can see a little bit better. But if you'll notice, we had a very nice W formation playing. Now, let me teach you guys something very, you know, for future references. The thing about W formations, mostly on the 4-hour time frame, and mostly for Bitcoin, I'll talk crypto specifically, not for stocks, but crypto specifically, when we have a W formation on the 4-hour that's this large, the point of entry for anyone at a given time would have been right here at 17.6 to 17.9. Now, the reason why I say that is at that range, there was a ton of shorts that were opened, right? You can see that this area was a major resistance. Guess what happened as soon as we broke above this previous high at 18,200? We saw the largest short squeeze opportunity, right? Look at this. We just had in one day, Bitcoin just flew. And these aren't normal candlesticks. These are manipulated candlesticks. I've taught you guys this before. Look at the bottom of the candlestick. These are algorithm pumped. There's no wick to the bottom, and just straight up, straight up, straight up, straight up. Look at that. Look how large this candlestick was, right? This was a short squeeze. But of course, to the extent that it went to, a lot of people were saying, oh, where is it going? Where is it going? Well, just looking at it from now, man, like it's a W formation. It's going to end up top here at 21.2, right? Of course, this to me was a surprise because we didn't drop from there. We actually continued, and Bitcoin really continued higher. And the larger we went within a smaller time frame, the more I told you guys, I'm bearish. I'm not looking, unless we break 25.2, I am in the bearish category. You guys will notice in Telegram, I send shorts on shorts on shorts. Most of my trade, I say 90% of my trading is shorts. Yesterday was probably the first buy opportunity we took, other than the scalping we took the other week that we ended up closing for very break even, right? I'm a shorter, and the reason why I'm shorting is, why would I long? Look at the chart. Why am I looking for a long, right? What am I trying to guess here? We're in a downtrend. Bitcoin's been in a downtrend. It's been in a massive downtrend, right? And this is the saying like, oh, the trend is your friend. And there's times where I will counter trade the trend, but most times I would much rather hold a short position than look for a long position or a buy opportunity. That goes the same for altcoins. Like for the 15 of you that are watching, like, I'm sure you guys have your spot buys of your favorite coins and whatever. And again, once again, if you guys want me to analyze something, now is the time. I will analyze your chart and tell you where I think it could be going, right? But the problem with holding on to altcoins is they tend to bleed the most in areas of capitulation. Look at Hbar, right? Everyone was shilling Hbar to me at 23 cents. This is the future, Pingu. You must buy. And I was looking at it and I'm like, why am I buying? Like, what's the need to buy this coin when I know Bitcoin was going to collapse? I sold all my Bitcoin at 54,000, I think. I sold most of it. And I didn't buy any altcoins. And looking at Hbar, like, man, like, why would I buy this, right? Why am I looking for a buy opportunity? The same bag holders at 38.2 cents were dollar cost averaging all the way down. But now looking at it, like, from an outsider perspective, let's say you had a whale that bought in at 25 cents or a retail investor that bought in at 25 cents and now it's at 5 cents. The dude who's going to buy at 5 cents is going to have a larger bag than the guy that bought at 25 cents. And that's my point, is altcoins are much better entries when we actually find a stabilizing point on Bitcoin. And we are not at that point yet to be buying altcoins for the long term. You can buy altcoins in extreme oversold conditions. Hbar at 0.035 was a great buy. I told you guys that in those videos. This is amazing buy opportunity. But if we break 0.035, this is the next drop. Are you prepared for that, right? And that's the reality of the situation. A lot of people get, you know, very, very emotional towards, why do I have so many yellow dots everywhere? But like a lot of people get so like emotional about like their charts, right? They're like, oh, no, that'll never happen. Guys, I'm probably the only one on YouTube. I watch quite a bit of other YouTubers. But like I was probably the only one on YouTube that was mentioning the 0.057 support. And the only reason why I was mentioning it was because of this manipulation, just this short squeeze. And this plays out so perfectly. Of course, sometimes it plays out better than other times. And what I mean by that is, you know, we'll see a short squeeze, consolidation, sharp drop, or sometimes we'll see this leverage upwards and then sharp drop. But like it still ends up dropping to the area of our take profit, right? But that's just my thoughts, where I like personally think the altcoins are just not a good area to be buying right now. Your favorite coins, like, you know, Algo, Ocean. Even Ocean, guys, like Ocean was hilarious because everyone, or sorry, Algo, but even Ocean, but like I'll go to Ocean in a second, but everyone was so bullish on this, right? They were like, oh, this is the bottom. Man, they are really underwater right now. Like this was wrecked, right? Even at 29 cents all the way down to 18, they are really underwater. Gala, everyone remembers Gala, right? Huge short squeeze going to the moon at 0.015, right? We went all the way up to 0.06, and I genuinely know people that held. They're like, no, this is the bottom I'm holding. Man, 0.03. Like, does that chart look bullish to you? No, it just looks like we just had a small rally before the continuation to the downside. So that's just my input of why I'm not buying any altcoins. You know, it depends on you guys, what you guys really want to do, but that's just my humble opinion. Even Quant, right? Everyone was so bullish on Quant, like Quant's going to the moon. I started making videos on Quant exactly at the peak. And if you, I can probably find the video, but I actually entered a short at 210. Like I told people like, hey, 210s, this is the top. Why did I know that? Looking at the previous wick to the high. Look at all these wicks that people like fail to ignore, right? If you want to do exact dollar, look at the exact dollar wick on Quant. We saw multiple wicks. This was the local top on Quant at $226. Everyone on my YouTube was, nope, Quant's going to 400. Nope, Quant's going to 600, right? And Quant got wrecked. Quant got absolutely wrecked. And once again, the same people that were mentioning Quant's going to the moon, the same people at 150, I remember, I kept saying, that's a stupid buy opportunity. Like, why are you buying at that level, knowing the fact that we're not at the bottom yet? Oh, Pingu, you don't know what you're talking about. We're going to the moon. Yeah, like you're really underwater shorts, like are underwater buys right now, right? Like extremely, extremely bad. And the point of it is, guys, like I'm not some, you know, some amazing crystal ball dude. Like I'm just a guy that's been analyzing for a very long time. But if there's something I've learned from the last two bear markets, is never hold altcoins during capitulation or major downtrends. Your coins will get absolutely wrecked. The best thing you can do is just either, you know, like most people say, in cash, or, you know, with the current state of the market, just buy Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin long term and just sit on it. Have some cash for your favorite altcoins, but at current levels, even at $20,000 Bitcoin, not a horrible range, right? Like for me, for guys, most people, everyone's waiting for $10,000 or $8,000 Bitcoin, but for those guys that don't care, don't have time to look at the market, it's like dollar cost averaging at 20K Bitcoin isn't so bad when you're dollar cost averaging Bitcoin specifically at 69,000, 68,000, right? Like those kind of people, they got pretty wrecked. But that's just, like I said, that's just personally my opinion of why I'm dollar cost averaging around that level of, like, you know, 15, 13,000, because I'm not chasing $2,000 drops on Bitcoin. I don't care. Long term, I really don't care. Yeah, bearish for the short term for Bitcoin. I am pretty bearish, actually. Yes, like I do want to see, ideally, I think we already saw it, unfortunately, but I did want to see a squeeze, and a larger short squeeze. But in terms of the short term, there's two possibilities, and I talked about this a lot, and I'll give you Ethereum as an example just for this sake, okay? For Ethereum, because obviously if I'm talking about Ethereum, the Bitcoin is gonna follow through, right? These two love each other, so they're just gonna follow always. But I talk about this a lot, but there's quite a bit of you in here, so I want to make sure you guys actually pay attention here. If there's one thing you're gonna get from this whole live session, let this be it. With Ethereum's current price action, guys, with currently what's happening on Ethereum, I spotted this a long time ago, and I've been posting in Telegram for the past 2 weeks, but look at Ethereum's price range here, right? We were trading here. I'll even draw it out for you, just for the people that are like visual learners. So here you go. Look at the range, 1717. Ethereum had a pullback down to the 1421 level, the current range that we're at, and then we rallied all the way to 1787, and then we collapsed. This is the only thing that I'm watching right now. This is my only play. Because looking at Ethereum right now, I'll go ahead and delete my white line. Looking at Ethereum right now, guys, I didn't touch anything. Look at the yellow line on the top. 1717, look how many times we tried to break above that level. And this is my point. We are in the exact same situation once again, right? The exact same situation. Assuming we hold the 1421 level, this could be the overall play. This could easily be the overall play, where a lot of people will get caught out, right? A lot of people will be hoping that this is the bull run from the current range. The bottom was at 1421. They all get trapped at 1787, and Ethereum creates a new low. Because I promise you guys, if we end up retesting the $1,000 range, we will end up breaking it. We have tested that range way too many times down here to not be able to break it, right? There's a ton of pressure down there. So for Ethereum, the only thing that's really going for it right now in the bullish case is 1421. That's it. This is the only time, and that's why that's why we made 20%, right? On Friday, we took a buy opportunity for 20%. The only reason I took a buy opportunity, everyone was like, "Oh, yep, oversold, yep, we're buying." No, it wasn't that. It was just because of that play. The 1421 play all the way down to the current level is the only reason why I wanted to look for a buy opportunity on Ethereum. I didn't want to be looking for any other reason to be looking for a long position. And that play, that was an amazing trade. You guys made a ton of money off that trade. And I'm so happy you guys did, because it was an easy trade. Oh, Pingu, why didn't you enter right here? If you're so good, why didn't you enter down here? Well, I'm not stupid. Why would I enter in a falling knife pattern, right? I was waiting for recovery. We saw the recovery right here. What did I do? We didn't enter. You guys saw that trade. I didn't enter. We entered once we retested it as support. We waited for the candle close. We entered right here. We played this whole moveset towards the upside, and we exited the trade. A lot of people got trapped here, wrecked. Now they're back. I'm sure a lot of them got liquidated, right? Because this is a large range. 1477 down all the way to 1410. That's a big range, even on 10x leverage. Like, you're getting wrecked. And looking at Ethereum right now, yeah, technically speaking, if we see a breakout on this exponential moving average, the next level, in hindsight, is the same level we ended up breaking, right? 1518. Look how many times we tested 1518. Look how many times, right? Now we're going to retest as resistance. What's going to happen? If we break 1518, the theory plays, right? We know that will be the play. If we reject 1518, then that's the end of this bullish move set. There is nothing else in terms of confluence for me for Ethereum. It's unfortunate, but there's nothing. Because there's nothing that's holding Ethereum from, guys, the last support from 1278. I don't know. Why does that look like okay. There's nothing that's like left for Ethereum from here down to here. There's nothing in this range to hold it. And that's my worry. So, yeah, we do enter buy opportunities every now and then, but with the current market conditions, I would rather short, man. Like, I would much rather just be shorting these move sets. Inverted W, I don't know what, sorry, I must have missed that. I didn't see that. Thank you for all your YouTube videos. Hey, man, no problem. Honestly, guys, like, my job is to protect you. This channel was made to protect you guys, right? I really do enjoy posting. I don't charge. I don't have a course. I don't sell signals. I just like charting, and I've always liked charting. I'm self-taught. I've learned from books, library. I can't face doc, but I can show you guys later. But in those situations, like I've learned so much, and like at this point, like with everything that's happening, knowledge is free. I don't expect to ever charge you guys for anything, right? Like I don't need to charge you guys for anything. My whole point is if we can all try to somewhat catch the bottom, and in the next bull run everyone makes money, I will consider my job done. That's my only point, right? So with the current market conditions, I'm probably the only 4-hour trader on all of YouTube, because everyone else, I've watched their videos, they do daily time frames. And the problem with daily time frames is you don't really learn anything, right? You're just kind of hoping, you're hopium pretty much, like for the long term. But at least with the 4-hour perspective, you guys have a better understanding of what exactly is happening, which is why I'm looking. Cbef soy sauce, that's a nice name. But yeah, there is a lot of demand at $1,000, right? There's a ton of demand on $1,000. That's why we saw this triple bottom, right? This is why there was so many people buying in this range, because $1,000 Ethereum is psychologically is a huge level. But if it breaks, that's a whole different level of psychology, right? Like everyone's gonna be like, oh my God, it's over. We're going down. Right, so this is why I'm saying, like, I would much rather not be holding Ethereum long term at current states. Like, I would probably look to dollar cost average, even within the $1,200 range. It's not that big of a difference. Like anything within this range down here, $1,100, $1,000 is a decent range. We came from 4,000, right? Let me just read the chat here. Sorry guys, I'm blind. I can't read. Let me see. How to recognize the TP ranges. Yeah, so Chris, like for take profit ranges, I've talked about this a lot. Like everyone's take profit is different, right? My take profit is different. Your take profit is different. The way I would tell you is have a certain percentage that you enjoy. And what I mean by that is, let's say for you, 3% a day and you're happy. Okay. That's your take profit zone, 3%. You've seen my trades. 10-15% and we're still running, right? Because to me, like, I'm okay. Like I don't, it's not the end of the world if I lose the trade. And that's why I don't ever put, you know, here's your stop loss, here's your take profit, because my ranges are completely different than your ranges. But the good news is I always tell you guys when I exit the trade, right? I will always tell you when I enter the trade. I will always tell you when I exit the trade. I know people that end up holding my trades and they make even more. I know people that cut the trade early and they make less, but everyone makes something from those trades. And that's my point is, you don't want to be waiting for me to post a trade. Like I said, with Fairdesk, you can obviously, the link is in the bio. You can even do simulated trading. You don't have to do money. Like I would highly suggest you guys opening a Fairdesk account and just trying it out, practicing, seeing what sort of leverage you can play with. But everyone's ranges are going to be completely different. I was holding Tether. I actually ended up buying some NFTs. I think I mentioned like a week and a half, or I think maybe a week ago, I mentioned I moved everything out of Ethereum. And that was at the $1,600 range, right? I think we cashed out at $1,600, and yeah, pretty much in Tether. Only Tether, really, guys. Like I love Tether. I mean, it's, don't get me wrong. From being in 2018, the amount of stuff I've seen about Tether, like, but it's the thing is, it's for me, Tether specifically only, like, I don't care about USDC. I don't care about BUSD. I didn't care about Terra. And the reason why is because I'm a little like, I've been through enough in crypto to know that new stuff is always bad. And the reason I say that is because it's always a point of testing. It's always a point of failure for a lot of these things. Tether's been out long enough. If Tether implodes, it's the last of our worry is Bitcoin. And that's my point. Is like, I would much rather be holding Tether long term than be holding any other stable coin. And we're seeing that now, right? Everything, guys, but Tether is holding. Everything else is collapsing. It's a perfect example. Yeah, no problem, Wayne. Yeah, exactly, Jimmy. Like there's paid groups out there that will charge you an insane amount of money and they don't teach you anything. And that's my whole point is like, I want to be that guy that doesn't have to charge, doesn't have to do anything, and you guys just learn for free and at least learn something long term. Whether I'm here or not long term, at least you learn something from my charts, and that's the whole point. And like the only thing I ask is just you like the video or like my videos. That's it. That's my only thing that I ask, because then at that way, you know, it gives me a reason to continue making videos, because I have no issues of, you guys look at my channel. I have 1,700 videos I've made. Do you guys understand that's a lot of videos, right? I'm posting 7 videos a day for you guys, 7 videos, and out of the 7 videos, like, you know, that's every day, no matter what, I'll make sure I post my video for you guys. And that's my thing. All I ask is just like the video. That's it. But yeah, so I mean, long term, no worries. I'm not going to be charging anyone. I'm not going to be. There's no courses, no signals here. Just free education. But if you guys have any altcoins, we have some time. I'm going to leave in like 5 minutes. But any altcoins you guys want me to cover really quickly, anything you want me to go over really quickly, I can do that, and then we'll call it. I think I'm just going to start doing these like sporadically and like surprising, because I hate having a timing. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I can't do it. I can't join. And I'm just like, well, you know, I can't. So, but yeah, if you guys have anything you guys want me to, if you want anything analyzed, any sort of altcoins rather, I can do that for you guys. No problem. Let's see. Yeah, no problem, Jimmy. I will always enter trades and let you guys know. Of course, like, surprisingly, knock on wood, like, our trades are 90% wins. And the reason I feel like they are 90% wins is because of the fact that I'm very patient, even when entering. You guys have seen, I'll maybe send a trade once a week. There's traders out there that'll enter 10 times a week, right? I don't need to. You guys can enter your own trades by all means on Fairdesk. Do your thing. And I will gladly help you guys with your trades as well. Like I have people that message me, hey, I'm in this position and this is my liquidation and where can I go, right? And that's the thing, is like I will gladly help you guys with your trades. But again, I have my schedule, just to understand that. So if you do ever get caught in a trade, always reach out to me on Twitter. I will always be there for you guys, but just understand that I can't like instantly respond, right? So yeah, for sure. Yeah, no problem, guys. Like I said, I mean, with the current market conditions, in my opinion, it's a really good time to trade. And what I mean by that is it's not volatile. And it's something you guys will learn about me is I never enter leverage trading in bull runs. And the reason I say that is because of how volatile it is, right? I personally don't like bull run trading. Like I would rather do altcoins in the bull run. Because like looking at these ranges, man, this is wild. On Ethereum, like you'll see 3,900 and one day down to 3,000, the next day to 3,600. Like, come on, like that's even on 2x leverage. That's a huge range, right? So this is why personally I like bear market trading, because the moves are a lot slower, a lot easier to analyze them. And that's why I always recommend people, like, if you're going to be looking to leverage trade, now is the time to leverage trade. Of course, risk tolerance, blah, blah, blah. You guys understand that. But there is no perfect time to trade the now. Like this is the perfect time, because all of the moves that I've been sending, I'm posting them in Telegram. You guys have no excuse as to, you know, oh yeah, I can't take the trade because the fees are too high. Well, no, their fees are not high, because if you use my link, you're VIP, right? With Fairdesk, they're like extremely low fees. Oh, I don't have money to trade. Okay, then go do simulated trading. Like there's no reason why you shouldn't be practicing in the bear market with your charts and learning, because guess what? In the bull market, no one's going to be there to hold your hand, and it's going to be moving so quick that you're not going to be able to keep up, right? And this is one of those things where I've learned the most in bear markets and I've learned in bull markets, because everyone can be right in a bull market. But the true reality is in a bear market, that's when things are really tested. And I'm sure you guys have seen that. Your favorite YouTubers that used to post your, oh my God, this guy's so good, but now he's wrong every time, is because these people don't know how to trade bear markets. They don't. That's where the real analysis comes from, right? Real quick, though, before I end the video, just want to quickly talk about Cardano. Guys, this is the end. Let's all play a sad song for Cardano together. I do think that Cardano is ready for collapse here to 28 cents. I know a lot of people are against that. They don't want to hear it, but unfortunately, you are hearing it. You heard it from me at 34 cents, and I know all my Telegram members can vouch. At 34, I said it's over, and we continued. Every time we saw a leg upwards, the comment section was, "You fool! This was the bottom. It's time to buy." Yep. And then we continued. And again, it's funny because yesterday I had the same comment. "You fool! This was the bottom." It's so funny because, like, man, like, just zoom out of the chart and look, open your eyes. Like, where exactly is the bottom in this whole chart? every time we see a run up, it's not the bottom, my friend. It's just another leg towards the downside. And that's what I love about Cardano is like one of the I feel like the Cardano community is so like they get so aggressive when you say, oh yeah, this thing is gonna crash, and they hate it, man. They hate it so much because they're like, this is my favorite coin. Who are you random YouTuber? And then it's funny because I've actually had comments where people are like, I should have listened, I got liquidated. And like, I don't mean to laugh, but like, I will always help you guys before liquidation. But if you talk, if you talk smack and then you expect me to help you, it is what it is. You're getting liquidated. I can't help you there. But I've lost 7K in 2 weeks, and when I started following you, I've learned a lot, and I'm earning now. Hey Jimmy, that's honestly awesome to hear, my friend. Like, that's exactly what I like to hear. I'm glad that you are earning money and learning from these charts, because these charts are something that you can really pick up from. Jimmy, I just have my only question to you would be like, are you spot trading or are you leverage trading as well? How many people leverage trade? I'm actually curious. Can you guys just put in the chat for me? Because I feel like some of you guys are just like, spot buying and selling, which is fine. There's no issues with that. Does anyone here leverage trade other than me and some others? Because I know some of you guys do leverage trade. Just put in the chat for me so I can just have an idea. But yeah, Cardano's just not looking good, guys. It's just not looking good. Rejecting below the exponential moving averages, seeing this whole downtrend aspect without any sort of pump opportunity, it's just not worth it. No leverage, only leverage. Yeah, so that's good. Like I said, I mean, it's good. The thing about leverage is you can make a lot of money as long as you understand the risk management of it. What I mean by that is, if you're a beginner, I better not see anything higher than 7x leverage as a beginner. 7x is the sweet spot. You can make a ton, and you have enough risk tolerance if Ethereum does crash or anything happens that you can get out of your trade. Nothing worse than holding a losing trade, right? Mostly when it's down 40%. I've held losing trades. You guys have seen me hold losing trades 18, 17% during volatility, but I always warn you guys when I enter, there's high volatility, be prepared, right? So that's my only recommendation to you guys would be really focusing in, if you're leverage trading, on your fees. Because if you're with Bybit, KuCoin, I mean, KuCoin sucks. I don't know if any of you guys are on KuCoin right now, but with the SEC stuff, I'd rather be safe than sorry. And I love KuCoin. I've been on it since 2018. I love that platform. They're very good people, but with what's happening with KuCoin currently, I would much rather not be using KuCoin. So again, I'm not trying to cause panic. If you're on KuCoin, then stay on KuCoin. I like KuCoin. It's just after FTX, I'm better safe than sorry, right? Should we short Cardano? It's the weekend. I don't trade on weekends, so that's up to you. If you want, you can short it. 28 cents looks like the range we're gonna hit. But obviously Monday morning we might see a short squeeze because of how leveraged the shorts are currently. But yeah, again, guys, like, I highly suggest you looking into Fairdesk, just for the fee aspect of it, because I'm glad most of my Telegram channel is on Fairdesk, because like the trades that I send, you'll notice like they're very quick, they're very good scalping opportunities, and we save so much money on fees, right? That's the agreement we have. I promote their platform, and they give my subscribers extremely low fees. It works out, because again, at the end of the day, like, I want what's best for you guys, and that's the ideal range that we have to be looking at, right? I've been offered by Bybit, I've been offered by KuCoin, but their fees are absurd. Even with their little package that they offer, it's just wild. So no. I hate spot trading. I like spot trading when it's a bottom range, but not currently. But yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be a 30-minute session, but we got so many people in here, and I'm sure we made a lot of new friends. But yeah, if you guys have not joined the Telegram channel, make sure to check out the Telegram channel. That's exactly where I post everything. So it's a good area to be looking at if you guys are, interested, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I mean, if you guys don't have any charts for me, then I will be looking to sign off here. Yeah, Jimmy, check out Fairdesk. I suggest it for you, mostly if you're trading larger. Can't use Fairdesk app in Canada. Chris, you can. I don't know why you can't. I'm in Canada, and I'm using it, so you can. It's regulated in Canada as well as US, so everyone should be able to use it. My favorite is compound long term. Yeah, compound trading is good. Ideally, like I said, dollar cost averaging at that point, and just buying in. But don't do altcoins, guys. If there's a lesson you're gonna take from that, don't do altcoins. But yeah, Chris, it should be available for you in Canada, man. I'm in Canada as well, and it works fine for me. It should be okay. But yeah, that should be it. I mean, this is probably the largest live session I've ever had. We've had 26 people, which is amazing, and that means a lot to me. 26 of you guys watching for an hour. It's like, you know, a small YouTuber's dream. But I appreciate you guys, and, you know, thank you guys for always watching my stuff and liking my videos. And yeah, you know, that's about it. Okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. You guys have a great, wonderful weekend. If you guys have any questions, hit me up on Twitter. That'll be the place that you need me. I'll message you guys on Twitter, and I'll be glad to help you with whatever you need. If you need help setting up Fairdesk, if you need help with leverage trading, if you need help with positions, if you need help with market psychology, whatever you guys want, just hit me up on Twitter. We'll kind of go over it. But all right, guys, you guys have yourself a wonderful day, and yeah, peace out.